dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack and flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Get me run away from my problems.
Yep, let's get original crew, man. We're back, baby. Today we have another Watch Mojo. Top 10 creepiest criminals, mysteries, serial criminals, mysteries. I'm gonna just, you know what it is. This is going on extra though, so it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
Cause they've been flagging all these type of videos on the main channel. So what's good, extra dose?
Good?
Just more content. Cause I actually love these type of content. This type of content. So you know.
You say you like this type of content?
Yeah, like this is real life. This is real world stuff that happens still to this day.
Yeah. And
they still can't seem to understand when we got one and when we don't. Cause you know, back in the day, I used to always ask you, and I'm gonna ask y'all as well. Do we really think a serial criminal could exist in our day and age? And you used to always be like, yeah, and I used to be like, bro, with all the technology and capabilities, but I'm like, they still get it wrong so much.
But I do still think that, yeah.
No, I'm saying I used to say I didn't think so.
Oh, okay.
Because of so much technology. You used to be like, yeah, there could be. And I was like, but there's so much technology. There's cameras rolling all the time. But when you really think about it, yeah, there could be.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
But hey, with that being said, before we get into it, make sure you check out the links in the description box.
Down below.
You already know where to go if you want to first support. All you have to do is check out down below. Also, if you enjoyed today's visual, wow.
Lock it in with a thumbs up.
Well, highly appreciate it. But hey, let's hop into it. Let's check it out. Let's see what's about. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let go.
Today's August 1st. He wants his code in the afternoon edition.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most unnerving and unsolved questions involving famous murder cases.
This is just a lot of parts of that story that are fascinating that we don't know a lot of the answers to.
Number 10. What is Ted Bundy's actual kill count?
This next girl, we're still not sure if she died from strangulation or the blow to her head that left a baseball-sized hole in her skull.
Arguably the most notorious serial killer in history, Ted Bundy has officially claimed the lives of 20 individuals. But those are just the identifiable victims that investigators have linked him to. The real number is likely much, much higher.
For the record, you are guilty of killing many women and girls.
Yes. Yes, that's true.
Bundy himself confessed to 30 kills, but experts and historians believe that even that number is too low. Indeed, some people think it could even climb into the hundreds. This was personally referenced by Bundy on a few occasions, and he remains a suspect in a number of unsolved homicides throughout the country. With the age of the case and the elusive nature of the killer, it's possible that we'll never know the true tally.
The only people that ever saw the diabolical Bundy were his victims.
Number 9.
That's true. But do you think the number is high?
I do.
You think it's more than the 30?
I think it's probably more than the 30.
He was convicted for 20.
He confessed to 30.
Confessed to 30.
And it may be more.
But my thing is, if you confess to 30, why not just confess to all? You know what I mean? Confess it all. But also, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, do y'all remember each one?
Some of them be that, like,
yeah,
so that they do.
Like the little dude. I forgot I just know somewhere part of his name is Little. I think it's his last name. The black guy.
With the truck. Every time you say that, I always be talking about yeah.
Did he have a truck?
I think he used to talk about how he used to pick him up in
Samuel Little. That's his name, Samuel Little.
Pick him up in his, I don't know. Every time I think about him, I don't know why.
Because nobody has really just sat down and did like a documentary or like topic on him for real, like in depth.
Yeah, other than what we seen.
And that really wasn't even in depth.
And it wasn't even like
unless they just don't have as much information to really go on his. That's crazy though.
Saw the diabolical Bundy were his victims.
Number 9. Who committed the Little Rock stabbings?
Today, the Little Rock police issue a safety alert after multiple knife attacks in the city. 3 of those attacks are homicides.
Thanks to the advent of certain investigative techniques, serial killing has become less pronounced. But that's not to say it has stopped completely. Many killers are still out there, including one who stabbed 4 people in Little Rock, Arkansas between 2020 and 2021.
Perhaps you catch the story and you're in a day center or something like that. Be aware and consider going to a different part of town until this is resolved.
That's
That would be my encouragement.
3 of the 4 victims passed away, and both Little Rock police and the FBI believe that a serial killer may be involved. The lone survivor described her attacker as a young black man over 6 feet tall, but despite a reward of $20,000, he has yet to be identified. As of 2024, the killings seem to have stopped, which only begs a further question. Why?
The department is now asking for the public's help in finding the man who left 3 people dead.
Number 8. What's happening?
It's either he's deceased himself from a situation that could be different or it's related, and you just can't piece him back, or he has relocated to another area, and the crimes probably haven't been able to overlap each other in correlation, or his MO has changed, or he's incarcerated.
Or he's incarcerated. And
It's either deceased, relocated, or incarcerated. You don't go on a rampage like that, so back to back, and then just stop. You don't.
And then if that is the case, then it does like raise the question as to why this day,
All of them raise the question like why it stopped though. Oh, are you talking about why it's the motive? Like what why are you asking? Like
I'm just saying I'm just talking just with his. Not everyone that has done these type of crimes. I'm just saying with him that it's still that.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying with him, like, what is your why? Is your why is like why as far as the motive? Why did you start? Or why is your motive of why it stopped?
Just why this particular night and you take 3 people out? Well, you have 4 victims.
It was 4 different occasions, not one.
Oh, it's 4 different occasions, different dates. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, different dates.
My bad. That's my bad.
No, it was different dates. Different dates. Because it's from 2020 to 2021. So months in between.
Yeah, that's right. I heard that.
No, then I was like, what exactly is your why?
Yeah, whatever.
Because I get your why. It's like, why did it start?
I thought, no, my brain was thinking it was all in one night. I don't know why. Okay. But I did hear her say the dates, but I don't know why. I just ignored that.
All right, let it go.
Happening on the Highway of Tears.
9 women have gone missing or been murdered along that specific stretch of highway. If you ask First Nations groups or just the communities along this route, they'll tell you that number is much higher.
Stretching nearly 450 miles across British Columbia, Canada, is the Highway of Tears, so named because of the tears it has elicited in so many wronged individuals. The highway was completed back in 1970 and has remained a hotspot of crime ever since.
If they were actively investigating, someone would say, oh, I just talked to the RCMP. Like, so do you have a sense of how active these investigations are?
I don't think they're active now at all.
In the 5+ decades it's operated, the Highway of Tears has seen dozens of murders and disappearances, with the most recent occurring in 2023. 3 different serial killers have been charged in relation to crimes that occurred along the highway. But as they are still continuing to this day, it's obvious that they were not solely responsible.
I did learn some things today. I think it went well.
What'd you learn?
I don't want to say. But I have. I've learned some things which in the future are going to help me.
Number 7. Who filled...
I ain't like that response.
In the future, it's going to help you.
But also, it could be out of context.
They shouldn't have added that, because what are we talking about?
That could be out of context. So I don't know. That's very scary. It's very scary, because it can be on plethora of things.
And then for you not to want to... Anyway, that could be out of context, but still, like, it did come off a little.
Are the women that are going missing, are they workers? Not like, I'll just say, are they street workers? Without saying the word. Mm-hmm. Or hikers? Like, of that nature, are those the type of women that are going missing? Or are these different women that possibly been at a truck stop getting gas? Somebody trying to, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, are they, because the highway stretches for so long, right? Mm-hmm. Could it be truckers? Could it be... You never know. It could be a plethora of things because it's been going on for so long. Yeah. I doubt one person is doing all this. And they have said they have identified 3 different ones.
Yeah.
Because honestly, if you are one, it would be best to just blend into another area where people are already going missing.
Yeah.
Because you're just going to blend in. You're not going to stand out. It's going to just chunk back up to the total of the, you know what I'm saying? Sure. So that's a way of how to get away with murder, you know? It's just blend in with the area that already got murder going on.
But I've learned some things which in the future are going to help me.
Number 7. Who filled the Janihel grave?
Well, the Pakistani Taliban has been fighting the government in Islamabad for more than 15 years, trying to impose its hardline interpretation of Islamic law.
On March 21st, 2021, a mass grave was found in the town of Janihel, Pakistan, containing the corpses of 4 individuals. And judging by the state of the bodies, it was obvious that they had been murdered. The victims were identified as 4 local teenage boys who enjoyed hunting in the area and had gone missing 3 weeks before the grave was found. The find sparked great outrage in the region, and thousands of protesters marched with the boys' bodies to demand justice. They believed the Taliban was responsible, as the region was plagued by violent militants and the boys had previously been abducted by the Pakistani Taliban, or TTP. Unfortunately, this is just a theory, and the case remains unsolved.
We must underline that Pakistan is facing a sort of proxy terrorism. It has been facing this proxy terrorism for more than a decade.
Number 6. What is...
On that one, I really can't elaborate or go in on that one because that was like 100%. I have never heard of that situation before.
Yeah.
To even like try to speak on it, so I just didn't want to like just ignore it. But that's the reason why I can't speak on it because never heard about it, and unfortunately, that wasn't enough information to really like make a comment on.
Is the Axeman's connection to jazz?
I am what you Orleanians call the Axeman.
New Orleans is known for its jazz, so much so that the Axeman actively promoted it during his reign of terror. He killed 6 in the late 1910s, and on March 13, 1919, a person believed to be the Axeman wrote to local papers claiming that he would kill someone in the early hours of March 19th. However, he would spare anyone playing or listening to jazz music.
And I swear by all the devils in the nether regions that every person shall be spared in whose house a jazz band is in full swing by the time I have just mentioned.
So, on the night of March 18th, people crammed the city's dance halls and attended parties in which jazz music was being played. True to his word, the Axeman did not attack that night. Some believe that the killer wished to promote jazz music, but of course, it's also possible the letter was a hoax. Number 5. True. Who are the Gacy John Doe?
True.
Well, it may have been a hoax, but it
worked. And you never know what tradition might spark from it.
Child, and I be playing jazz music every night. Honey, they're getting down. Cause what? That's scary.
Facts, man.
So possible the letter was a hoax. Number 5. Who are the Gacy John Does?
Hey, look at me. I'm gonna show you a trick.
One of America's most prolific killers, John Wayne Gacy took the lives of a confirmed 33 individuals. However, only 28 of them have been conclusively identified. The other 5 remain John Does even to this day.
And when you look over the photos, I have no recollection of any of them. Never met them.
3 of the 5 victims were killed in 1976, with 1 occurring the year prior and 1 the year after. All are males, and that's about all we know for sure. Facial reconstructions have been made of all 5 victims, and DNA has been taken and tested. In fact, said reconstructions have been updated as recently as 2018. Unfortunately, nothing has come of the work, and the victims remain unidentified. Number 4. What?
That's crazy. Wow. But I'll say this. The reason why possibly is because their family probably, because it happened back. So you never know how old their family members were or were they even in the area, from the area and stuff like that. So there's no telling reason why you can't identify the 5. But also, this is an individual I always wonder why they don't like go in more in depth with, because we hear about everybody else, but John Wayne is like we don't get, you know.
Yeah.
Like if we did a Ted Bundy documentary, we did a Dahmer documentary. When I say documentary, I'm also talking about like a film, like film-wise of it. They doing the Mendez brothers now. That was very gruesome.
Yeah.
And I'd say this, the closest thing that I always say that I feel like we have gotten to this day of a depiction of possibly the sitting in mind of John Wayne Gacy is the black phone. And if you've seen the black phone, then you might. I don't know if other people get what I got from, because we watched it in theaters, and soon we left theater, I said, like I told C, I said, that was John Wayne Gacy's story, low key, without saying it, because I feel like some of the details, I'm like,
even though things weren't like
the exact. Yeah.
It just puts you in the mind of that, or you feel like they kind of like
grasps his story to make a story.
Yeah.
Because you got to think about it, kids in the basement, all boys.
What was
he was a clown in like a rural area like Chicago, like a suburban city outside of Chicago.
I do wonder, like the age group, like of the victims, of all of his victims or whatever.
But because I know when we do have that conversation, you typically go there. You just like maybe because they were minors and stuff like that.
I'm not on that. I'm not on that as far as like the movie thing. I'm wondering what was their age groups, because I'm just trying to pitch. I'm just trying to like get an idea of maybe how old like parents or if they maybe, because I'm just trying to figure out why 5 of the victims are not even identified still to this day. Like, that's my only thing. So I'm wondering their age. And then it'll kind of like give me an idea. Maybe, just kind of maybe. I know people do have kids later. Or maybe, some of the parents, probably were deceased or whatever the case would be during the time. But I just do wonder why 5 of the victims were never identified. Because I think that's super sad.
Yeah, because also I always say this. Because he also had... cases from when he was living in Iowa. So sometimes I'm like, is it a possibility that he possibly has people back from like even before he did the crimes in Chicago, the Chicago area?
I got you.
You know what I mean? Oh snap! I don't know. I was just because all right, it's on the Chicago Tribune. They have them. So you have the ages. You got 16, 14 to 18. That's one of the victims that's unidentified. Okay. Can I not read the article? Oh, y'all trying to get somebody to buy some... I ain't got time to be buying.
You gotta be quick.
21 to 22, this guy. 19, 14, 15, 17, 16.
So I'll just say, since you couldn't go through all of them.
So they all were young. Though. They were all from teenage to like that. Maybe early adult age.
Maybe 25, maybe. Cause that
I don't want to say a definite, because he was 21 or 22.
And they don't really probably even know. It just kind of had.
Well, he was identified. This guy was identified. So the ones who have been identified, they will be able to say how old they were, because they family members have identified them too, or some kind of. If they're able to put a name and a photo and all that, they are able to identify. But one of the ones that they haven't been able to identify was someone that they believe to be between 14 to 18. So I don't know. His story is very much so. Like I do know they have like the John Wayne Gacy lost tapes, but maybe because there was all of them so many minors that was involved. Yeah. But there has been other minors depicted in other crimes too. So I don't know. That's a question I'll never get answered though.
Of the work, and the victims remain unidentified. Number 4, what do the Zodiac's cryptograms say?
And what's the one word that we know that he'll use in here at least once? Kill. Right, kill. So the Hardens start looking for double symbols, which they find here, here, and here, each with the same 2 symbols preceding them.
The Zodiac remains an enduring part of American culture, thanks in large part to his brazen correspondence and the fact that he was never caught. He was known for writing taunting letters which were published in local newspapers, and he also produced 4 cryptograms that he encouraged the public to solve.
Hey, take a gander at this code thing.
Okay.
You You want to give it a go?
However, he may have made them a little too hard. The first was quickly cracked in 1969, but that would be it for another 51 years. A second cipher was solved in December of 2020, with the Zodiac proclaiming that he was, quote, not afraid of the gas chamber. The other two remain unsolved, despite the dedicated efforts of private citizens and professional code breakers.
That's crazy.
As of now, we can only imagine what they say. Number 3. What?
You know what's so crazy with his is because nobody will ever be able to put an answer to who it is, and 9 times out of 10, this person dead and gone.
Yeah, true.
Well, I'm sure the person is dead. I'm sure. 51 years ago and all that.
And they were already.
It's a possibility chance he's still alive.
Yeah, some people live to be.
He could be, because he could have been in his 20s. 50-some years, he's just being in his 70s.
Well, yeah, because
70s, 80s.
You don't know how old he was at the time.
So you don't know. But if he was like in his 40s or something, I'm sure.
Then, yeah.
But if he was a younger guy doing it, it's a possibility he's still alive and laughing.
That's crazy.
Or a possibility he was caught for another crime or another murder, and y'all can't even attach those back.
True.
But that's the stuff that be mind blowing though.
What happened to Bel Gunnis?
She would apparently lure men to her farm through ads in newspapers where she reportedly would kill them.
One of America's earliest serial killers, Bel Gunnis was known for killing men after luring them to her Indiana farmhouse. She claimed at least 14 lives, but the true number could actually be closer to 40. Gunnis's crimes finally came to light in April.
Different woman than we think.
Oh, okay.
Different woman than we think.
I feel like I had heard her name before.
No, the other one we think about was actually trans.
Oh, okay.
I remember we ended up seeing a picture and it was like, oh, it's actually, you know.
The true number could actually be closer to 40. Gunnis's crimes finally came to light in April of 1908 when her farmhouse burned down and revealed a number of human remains. Investigators found what was thought to be the body of Gunnis herself, but now we're not so sure.
The story itself is
whoa.
It's kind of stranger than fiction.
The coroner strongly implied that it was not Gunnis, as the corpse was both shorter and lighter than she was. Furthermore, people around the Chicago area reported seeing Gunnis long after her supposed death. As it stands, we may never know what truly happened to Hell's Bell.
She's one of the most notorious serial killers that really no one has heard of before.
Number 2, did Jack the Ripper write the From Hell letter?
That's crazy. I'm gonna have to look into her because I never heard of her before.
I guess I was thinking about somebody else.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking about.
Wow, that's crazy.
Really, no one has heard of before.
Number 2, did Jack the Ripper write the From Hell letter?
He opened it, and there inside was a letter written in red ink and addressed from hell. Wrapped inside it was half a human kidney.
In the midst of Jack the Ripper's 19th century killing spree, a team of private citizens started the Whitechapel Vigilance Committee in order to patrol the streets of East London and keep the people safe. It was led by a builder named George Lusk, who, on October 16th, received the infamous From Hell letter.
From hell. Well, at least they got the address right.
Of the many pieces of correspondence, this is widely considered the most authentic. In it, Jack taunts Lusk, telling him to, quote, catch him when he can, and claiming that he ate half of a human kidney. The other half was included with the letter. The organ was found to be real, and numerous discrepancies between this letter and the others led many to believe that it was genuine.
The amount of factual information that we've got there is not sufficient to draw any hard and fast conclusions.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and...
That's crazy, bro. Jack the Ripper.
Jack the Ripper.
I ain't never really looked into Jack the Ripper like that. I wasn't too fascinated with Jack the Ripper. Well, not wrong words. Wrong terminology. CB getting creeped out.
Yeah.
Is it creepy?
Just weird.
On notifications. Number 1, what was the Manson family's motive?
So, Bob, when you're confronted with a crime scene like the one you were at, what do you think about who could have done this?
The infamous group led by Charles Manson murdered at least 9 individuals in the late 1960s. And despite their notoriety, we still have no firm idea of why they did it. Of course, there are numerous theories, including the famous helter-skelter proposed by Vincent Bugliosi. He posits that the family was attempting to incite a race war.
The Manson helter-skelter meant the black man rising up
and destroying the entire white race. That is, with the exception of Charles Manson and his chosen followers.
Others, including various family members, claim that they wanted to get Bobby Beausoleil out of jail. Beausoleil was a family member imprisoned for the murder of Gary Hinman, and the family wanted to make it seem like the real killer was still loose. Susan Atkins stated that she just wanted to, quote, shock the world. Even if that wasn't their true motive, it's certainly what they accomplished.
One of the most horrific things I've ever seen in the whole time I was a policeman, and nothing compares to it, to that murder scene.
What are your theories on these mysteries? Let us know in the comments below.
But all it did was really complicate the investigation.
What was that from? What relevance was that? Bro, what? Oh, Lord. That was just thrown in there like, here you go. You know what I mean?
I mean, it must be to something. I don't know. I don't know, child. But yeah, I don't be like into this like
I do.
Like you do. Because it's just, everything just be too sad for me. So I don't be trying to like deep dive and see like, details and stuff like that. But the only time I heard about Jack the Ripper, like for real, I think was on Criminal Minds. Which
they used to bring him up.
Yeah, they used to bring him up a lot.
Yeah.
So like like these, because they do pull like real stuff and try to incorporate it and stuff like that. So yeah,
true story. But hey, man, y'all spam us up in the comments, man. Y'all let us know y'all thoughts and opinions down below. But until next time, y'all know how it go, man. I do go by the name DJ New Kid. This is
Sierra Nicole.
We are.
Tennessee.
We are.
No time to kick it, got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.